What's up? Welcome to Tales Tomorrow. I am Morrow, your storyteller for today, and with me I have some more RPG horror stories. So one of the thumbnails for a video I got inspired from Crow's Perch. This thumbnail right here. And guess who replied in the comments of that video? Crow himself. For real though, I'm actually really excited because like one of the people that inspired me to make this channel is actually noticing the channel. I'm gonna get some RPG horror stories for today. And if Crow ever sees this at any point at all, hope you enjoyed the video. Anyway, let's get to the RPG horror story for today. I don't know how much longer I can handle my DM's poorly disguised fetish game. I've been bearing through this campaign for a year now. Let me just run through the highlights. Sci-fi setting, a la Mass Effect. Ooh, but we are forced to play her weird homebrew D&D game. She refuses to try another system. All enemies do about 40 to 60 damage a turn. The spells a spellcaster can take are just sort of arbitrarily cut out. We'll all have to use these homebrew weapons and basically just play fighters. But okay, that's fine, right? We'll make it work and we have fun doing space crime for a while. Introduces a new character that starts hitting on my character. She's 26. My character's 19. It's freaking weird. It's at this point the fetish stuff starts crop up. Our doctor on the ship is a big titty alien woman who wants to be our mommy. We encounter an evil space plague thing, and multiple times she has described it trying to tentacle frick us. The space mommy or the plague? Also, I mean, I gotta be honest, like the Mass Effect universe sounds really fun. Why is this all going on? The high damage, they're not able to play spellcasters, so basically everybody's a fighter, and then the doctor mommy and then tentacle. I'm still confused about the tentacle. Why is there disease about tentacles, or is the mommy supposed to try to tentacle you? I don't know, dude. I'm so lost. But okay, we get through Act 1, and most of it's like fine, just a few red flags. We managed to somehow squeeze by in her confusing, busted homebrew 5e system and have a decent time being space criminals. Second act has us protecting the princess of a space empire. Gratuitous description of how the space plague has been implanted in her womb, and we have to get our totally not my fetish doctor to take it out. Oh god, the whole campaign is about monsters that tentacle frick women and implant weird space viruses in their I'm gonna die. You know, you think you've read it all, but no you haven't. Because now we have a space disease that tries to tentacle frick everyone's hoo-has. Where did you find this DM, and why was this not the first red flag to basically be like, hey DM, time out. I don't think I'm cool with it. Can you please run that back and explain how this happened? There are multiple dungeons centered around this. Let me guess, there's sex dungeons where tentacles try to frick your hoo-ha. Jesus Christ. Like seriously, saying that out loud feels so uncanny. It's like somebody talk about Skibidi Toilet the Rizzler or some crap like that. Christ, dude. I feel like I'm dreaming. I feel like I'm on drugs. Suddenly we learned that our boss, a doctor character, is a weird who used to date the princess lady we were protecting as a child. Why? DM, why'd you have to put that in? Well, no, don't put anything in. No more tentacles, no more tentacles. No. Why'd you have to put that? Why'd you have to write that as a story, DM? Is that important? Please tell me somebody spoke up and called the DM out on that sort of thing. What the hell? Dear God, I'm sorry for criticizing the balance issues. Can we please go back to space crime? This is all the campaign is about anymore. We meet a new fetish bait, giant snake woman character. She plays the freaking Dance Till You're Dead song and then kills the princess after they finally started feeling a little bad for her. And now we're starting Act 3 and I have no idea how much worse they can get. Her awful homebrew system can be at least a little fun when she's not totally overwhelming us with hundreds of enemies, but the story oscillates between grim, dark, uncomfortable fantasy and obvious fetish bait, and it's so freaking weird. I played with this DM for years, and has never been like this. I think she's getting too comfortable. I fear what else waits in store for us. You know how animals go through like a mating season? I feel like this DM is going through like a horny season, and you should probably ask your DM to stop. Simply be like, hey DM, stop please, this is gross, I don't like this, none of us like this, can this stop? Can we just go back to space crimes already? If y'all feel uncomfortable, you should probably let your DM know immediately that you're uncomfortable with the content that they're trying to produce in the story they're trying to tell. Anyway, let's get to the next story for today. Hopefully no space tentacles trying to frick your hoo-ha or anything like that. Anyone have a game master that insists on holding onto everyone's sheets and uses it to cheat? I know game masters and GMs sometimes like to hold on to player character sheets so, they can organize things and keep track of everything, but to cheat, that's a whole other thing. I was talking to a friend of mine that I haven't played games with in years. While we were catching up, he out of the blue asked me a question. Hey, whatever happened to Jordy? He brought back some horrible memories. My friend and I joined some of this guy's games because he was about the only person willing to run them back when D&D 3.0 came out. Most of the players that were regulars in this game said he was a tough DM, but through our experience we found out he was a cheating bastard. He was the kind of guy that delighted in putting player characters in bad positions that would either get him killed, tortured, or really cause great dissatisfaction for the players. He had pretty much conditioned his 3 regulars to accept that this is how we were supposed to play D&D, but my friend and I weren't too sure. Now when it comes to DMs cheating, it's really easy. DM decides what happens in a world that can fudge the dice. It's not that difficult to cheat as the DM. If you are the DM, you are the world, you are the NPCs. If you cheat, that just becomes like part of the general thing, but it's just scummy. You don't want to cheat this sort of thing. If the dice make it so your party wins, the dice make it so your party wins. If the dice make it so your party flubs, the dice make it so your party flubs. I like to keep my dice rolls open because it makes players know that I'm not trying to actively screw them over. It's whatever the dice say. There are, however, moments I want to have a personalized character moment, which is sometimes where I ask them to roll blind rolls for like history or perception. I don't care what the rolls are, but I want them to see that specific thing and have that moment where they notice that thing and have a character moment for themselves. I try not to fudge my dice too much unless it's like really necessary. Sometimes I have players rolling natural ones over and over and over and just start feeling so bad, and then my guys over here, my little goblin guys, are rolling 20s and critting the party. It's like, no, I don't want him to crit the party. One of his gimmicks was that he didn't trust players to not fudge their sheets. So his solution was that he would watch your roll stats after you pitched a character concept to him, let you set up your character sheet for about an hour, and then he would insist that you gave it to him, and he would manually transcribe it. He would hold on to his own handwritten copy and let you keep the other one, and he would compare them at the end of session. It was very odd that he used to always find something wrong and mandate that you make adjustments at the end of every session. This group never even seemed to get to 10th level because the guy really loved TPKs. And finally, my friend ended up pointing out during the game that it looked like Jordy had actually doctored a sheet overnight to diminish some of his combat capabilities and saving throws. He flatly denied it, but for that whole reason, all of the monsters took special attention to him, and he was the first one to go down during that TPK. My friend decided he didn't want to come back after that. Yeah, no wonder if your whole DMing scheme is just to try to nerf the players and kill the players so that they can't have any fun. That's not fun for anybody. If the DM is the only one having fun killing off the players and not letting them progress and grow and explore more areas and stuff, like what's the point? If you just want to play a sadistic torture game, just go play a sadistic torture game in like Sims or something. Set your Sims houses on fire, watch them burn or drown in pools and stuff. Regardless of your addition of D&D, like you're not like high and mighty and stuff. You're at the DM seat, you're still a player at a table. You're the DM and your responsibility as a DM is to play the world and environment and the enemies and explain how the roles happen and what kind of outcomes players get into, but you're still at the end of the day a player playing a game with everybody else, and everyone wants to have fun. You get to have fun, and players get to have fun. But if your players are just dying the whole time, then yeah, I would have quit as well. Because at the end of the day, if the only thing that you can find as an outcome is a TPK, and there's nothing you could do about it, I would just quit. I would have found somebody else. I would have started playing myself, and not have some dumb rule where a TPK was a guaranteed 100%. Afterwards, Jordy rather condescendingly told me that he didn't like that I was mature enough to be playing with that group, and said that I had better go find a different game to play. I asked him if I could just try one more. He just contemptuously said that he'd give me one more shot. So I made a kobold sorcerer, pitched this to him, rolled stats with him. When he approved everything, he handwrote a copy, gave me back my original, and said that he would be playing the following Saturday. Then I went downstairs to the LSG and asked a good friend of mine working there if he could photocopy my sheet for me. He did, and I asked him if he would be okay if I left another copy with him so he could compare it. He said it was, and I got ready to head home. Immediately during the session of the following week, Jordy became aware of the fact that the way I'd built my character, their starting AC was 20. For the first half of this first session, most of the monsters couldn't hit me, being large level 1 and all. Magically, about halfway through the first session, maybe an hour and a half, I started getting hit very often. I asked him at one point in time how they were so easily able to hit, even though they were mostly the same monsters as before. His excuse was of course bad luck, but I implored to find out the bonuses, which he wouldn't tell me. Finally, he rolled his eyes and said, "Yeah, I didn't know why any of this surprises you. Your AC is only 16. Is this guy for real? He thinks his players are stupid, and that's his biggest downfall. He thinks he's smarter than everybody else, so he could just decide to just change. Like, dude, what's the point of doing this kind of thing? Like, if you just want to play with gullible people just so you can bully them, that makes you look like a complete fucking dickhead. What are you doing? This is not DMing. This is just bullying people for the sake of bullying, just so you can get your own kicks out of it, man. This guy's a complete fucking joke. Jesus Christ. So of course I smiled and told him he was mistaken. He was probably forgetting my dex bonus, or the fact that I was wearing a chain shirt because of my good max dex and arcane spell failure percentage. "You don't have a chain shirt, and you can't wear one. I don't know where you got that idea." So I pulled out the player handbook and showed him, and I explained that I was able to get it with the starting gold he gave me. He didn't manage to see my sheet. Then he laughed to himself. "So I guess we know who's cheating. You don't have one according to the sheet I have." So I laughed and pulled out the photocopy and put it on the table so all the other players could see. I explained that there was a second photocopy that I produced immediately after character creation previous week, and if they doubted it, they could ask the game store clerk downstairs who made the copy for me. One of Jordy's friends leaned over and picked at his copy of my sheet. "Yeah, man, looks kinda like you erased it." And then he threw a temper tantrum. He picked up one of the books and threw it at me from across the table and screamed something to the effect of "Rocks fall, everyone dies," and demanded that I leave and not come back. Oh, what's wrong, Piss Baby? Are you upset that somebody decided to finally call you out on your nonsense? And listen, I know it sounds mean for me to call him a Piss Baby, but this DM literally bullies his players just so he can feel powerful and like over them and just to gloat over them, just so he can get his kicks of TPKing people that don't know better. He's literally changing people's character sheets and stats and equipment just because he wants to. And that's some nonsense, dude. That's some complete, utter bullshit. This guy doesn't want to play D&D. He wants to gloat over other people. He's a piece of shit scumfuck. Man, I'm gonna have fun censoring this video, but either way, this guy is a bully. This guy is a bully, he's a jerk, and you probably shouldn't be playing with somebody like that. If you ever find yourself in a situation with somebody like that or somebody similar to that, don't play with this kind of people. Going back to the beginning of the story, I told my friend that I didn't know. I hadn't seen him since then, and I didn't really want to go look for him either. He's not the first person like that I played with. He definitely wasn't last, but he was probably one of the most obnoxious. If he had problems with the way people actually wrote their sheets or wanted to remedy something that felt was shortcoming, he would just talk to the players. But that's not what he was doing. He was just being a dick. Exactly, OP. Listen, if you have a balancing issue at your game and want to make sure that players aren't being overpowered, or you want to limit some parts of the content because you feel like you can't handle it, talk to your players. Just simply have a conversation with them, talk to them, and explain that maybe you don't like bugbears because of a previous bad experience, or you don't like this specific feat because it doesn't fit the roleplay of your story, or doesn't fit your world as much. Maybe you don't like a certain spell because it kind of circumvents a lot of the stuff, big plot points that you want to go for. Let's say your whole world is about curses and dealing with curses and circumventing curses in a different way. So you decide maybe remove curse spell might kind of overshadow the big gravity of the situation for my world. I should probably talk to my players and ask them if it's alright with them to like to remove the spell remove curse from the roster, because it just would make sense for the campaign. But this guy is like, you know what, I don't like that you have so much AC, no more AC, no more armor, no more spells, you're stupid with this weapon, you're infected with this weapon, you nerfed, that's nerfed, this nerfed, and you're gonna die next session. You're not gonna ever reach level 10 and stuff because I'm deciding your fate. I get to do whatever I want. For real though, if you find yourself facing against somebody like that, just don't play in their game. No D&D is better than bad D&D. Your time is better spent finding or looking for other games, or just not even playing D&D than playing in a crappy game. And with that, that's gonna be all our stories for today. I want to thank you very much for watching, and thank you so much for being here. If you like what I do, consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like. Also, if the RPG Horror Stories ever goes down, or if you want to submit your own personalized horror story, email is down in the description below. I'll see you again in more Tales tomorrow. Bye-bye.